I also want to tell you guys to make sure you watch my ads, okay? I have ads now, and your girl is poor, so I need that AdSense money. So watch my ads.
I think Coolsville sucks.
What you call an icon living? Puerto Rican living, Miss Rich just did it. I love over 5 minutes. Whoa, me up too hot in the place.
So today I'm going to be filming my dark romance new adult recommendations video, and I'm going to say that dark romance, they are problematic. Like, not going to ignore that. Like, they really are problematic. They all have their own problematic issues. Like, a lot of them just tend to be really problematic. And so I like dark romances because they tend to have hate to love tropes, or they I just kind of like darker stories to romance. Like, I just like when darker things happen rather than just like them hating each other. Like, all of these are hate to love dark romances, like, not gonna lie to you. So I'm just gonna get into the video. These are not ranked from worst to best because I didn't do that, but I think these are books will be good to get into if you're just getting into dark romance, which I am just getting into it, or if you just needed other dark romances to read if you haven't like read a lot and you liked it but you couldn't find others. The first book I'm going to recommend is Vicious by LJ Shin. This is a series, and the series is complete, but she's also coming out with another series based off like the children of characters in these books. And so this book is one of my favorites. Like, it's like my second favorite on this list, and it's basically about this girl whose parents works for the main character. His name is Vicious. Yes, it is ugly, but his real name is like something like Baron or something like that. He's like an old man's name, so everyone calls him Vicious. And so this book is about her parents working for Vicious family. She walks in on him like doing something he shouldn't have been doing. He hates her because he thought that she heard the conversation, so he's like really mean to her, and like, you know, she witnessed something that she shouldn't have witnessed. But that's when they're in high school, and so he ruins her life in many other ways. Like, there are so many ways he ruins her life, like, honestly. And then they get older, and he has this business. There are 4 characters in this book, and they call themselves the 4 Hot Holes. Hot Holes was such an ugly name for their friend group, but that's what they call themselves. And when they get older, they have this really big company, and the 4 friends own a place in different regions. So Vicious owns LA, his friend owns New York, somebody owns Paris, and then one of his other friends owns somewhere else. And so he gets transferred to New York, where the main character is, and like they run into each other, and she's like, oh snap, and he's like, yo, like, I actually need you to come work for me to do something, because like he was steaming up some plots. And I really liked this. I liked how rude he was to her. Like, I promise I'm okay, but I really like this. And also the cover is honestly cute to me, and it's not like most new adult books where the covers are like kind of like really obvious that it's like a new adult smut book. Like, this one isn't that obvious, you know, but this is like the only new adult book that I own. I'm trying to get more, but honestly, I love this book so much. The next book I have is Bully by Penelope Douglas, and I gave this book 3 stars. Like, a lot of people really like the book. I don't mind it. It wasn't bad. Bully is about this girl. I mean, the title says it all. Like, there's not much to explain. Bully is about this guy who hates this girl, and she ends up moving away, and then she comes back, and he's like trying to ruin her life and sabotage her, and you find out why he's doing that and why he hates her so much, to where he literally like ruins the relationship she's in and everything. Bully wasn't bad. I think for me it was just very high school, and they were in high school, like, you know. I don't really like when new adult books take place in high school. I just don't. It's weird to me because it's like a lot of smut, but they're like in high school. The next book I have is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, which I'm gonna warn you guys, I gave this book 3 stars. No, I think I changed it on Goodreads to 2. this book I was writing so hard for. It's basically like Vicious, but a little bit different. So the main character's name is Erica, and she's dating this guy named Trevor, and Trevor has this older brother named Michael, which Erica is more interested in Michael than she is Trevor. But he's like 3 years older than her, and he's like out of high school and she's in high school. And Michael has this friend group called the Four Horsemen. They were called the Four Horsemen, which I like better than the four plot holes, the four hot holes, or the hot holes, or whatever. I like it better than that, but I don't like it that much. Like, I mean, authors put a little bit more effort into their group squad names, please. But they were called the Four Horsemen, and every Devil's Night they would like pull out these really like big pranks. They weren't even pranks at this point. Like, they were like illegal. Like, the things that they were doing were illegal. On Devil's Night, she ends up like hanging out with them, and something happens, and they end up 3 of the guys end up going to jail. And so they get older and they're out of jail, and now they're seeking revenge on her. Which, to me, I liked a lot of things in the book. Like, a lot of problematic things happens in this book. But like, once you really get into the books, you realize that problematic things happen. But I just didn't like the ending. Like, the ending was very like Lifetime movie ending to me. I did not enjoy the ending at all. The last 74% I hated. I didn't mind anything else before that. Like, everything else was pretty good for me. Like, it was really dark, but the last 74% was not good. And I feel like with new adult romances, they have like a strong beginning and middle, and then the ending is what ruins it for me. The next book I have is Filthy Gods by R. Scarlett, which I loved. Filthy Gods. Like, I think I ended up giving it 3 stars because I didn't enjoy the ending. But Filthy Gods is about this main character who they're in college finally. I'm reading about colleges now. They're in college. He has like this rivalry with one of the super rich guys, and they're always just the top of their class, and they're always like fighting to be the top. She ends up having to work for his company, and he finds out. But they end up like messing around. It was kind of insta-lovey, but not really, because like they hated each other, but they start messing around within like the first 5 chapters. And it's like they don't hate each other anymore, which is weird. Not weird, but it's just not the norm for me. Like, usually when it's a hate to love trope, like they hate each other and then they like work their way up to loving each other. She kind of ignored the fact that she hated him. The ending, I didn't like the ending. It was very stereotypical fairy tale ending, and I'm just not into that. It doesn't have to be like chaos or anything. I'm just not into like that kind of ending that it had, and so I wasn't feeling it. But she is writing a series for all the guys, because all the guys in this book are called the American Gods. So she's writing a series called the American Gods, and I'm actually really excited to move on with the series. But the only thing is, she hasn't released them yet, and the release date says it should have been released in 2018, and it's 2019, and we don't have any descriptions. We don't have any like pictures of the covers. Like, we have nothing. And the last book I have for you guys is actually my 5-star book. That is Boys of Brayshaw High. And so this book is about this girl whose mom is basically a prostitute. I think her mom actually is a prostitute, and they finally take her out of the system at 17. So she's sent to this place called Brayshaw, where she lives in this house called Bray with a bunch of other girls who live in this home. It's like a home. It's like a group home for foster kids, basically. And she's put into this home, and so she has to go to the school called Brayshaw High. And at this school, they're the Brayshaw boys, who basically their dad is like the creator of that part of the town. And they are all like, they run the school, and they tell everybody what to do, and everyone bends to their will and like follow their rules. But she comes in, she's like, no, like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you're not gonna tell me what to do or when to stop or anything like that. Like, you're not gonna control any of that. She does whatever she wants, and they're like, no, like, you're gonna follow our rules. And she's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, all right, bet. And so now it's just them trying to get her to bend to their rules, but her fighting back. I really like that. I really like the ending, and I just love the book. Of course, it has problematic issues. like, of course, as all new adult novels do. So that's gonna be it to this video. So if you want to see more dark romance recommendations video, like, let me know. I want to bring new adult to YouTube. So many people say that they want to read new adult or dark romances, but nobody really reviews dark romance new adults. And the ones that I like hate to love tropes. Like, I feel like if you want to find like cutesy stories, there are so many videos out here that you can find, but like what like hate to love and like dark romances, there aren't a lot. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Please watch my ads, and I'll be back next time.